Hello everybody, welcome back to Sport Federation TV. As you know, we look after the sport in the Western Cape. We've still got a full show for you tonight. Archery, football, baseball and ring ball. I know many of you have wondered what is ring ball. Well, tonight you can find out. It's a sport that's a little bit similar to netball. They don't like to hear that. But we do look after the sports in the Western Cape, and that's what Sport Federation TV is all about. And just a reminder, a little bit later during the course of the show, I'll give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Bashu's cool drinks. As I mentioned earlier on, they've been around since 1899. So keep your cell phones handy. You'll be able to win a case of Bashu's. You just got to SMS into the right number. So make sure you got your mobile phones with you. Right, folks, you've heard of this lady before. She's a household name in South Africa when it comes to the world of archery. Also the chairperson of Archery Western Cape, Karen Hultzer. Hello, Karen.
Hi, JP.
Is it Karen or Karen?
Karen.
It is Karen.
I don't mind how you say it, as long as you say it with a smile. So.
It's great to have you on the show. We haven't had a chance to, well, I certainly haven't had a chance to interview you.
No, indeed. Thanks for having me here.
I've certainly seen you do enough interviews on TV and listened to you enough times on radio.
Well, not recently, thank goodness.
Yeah, but you know, I've been in the media a long time, and we've heard so much, you know, about you. You're one of our rare Olympian competitors. Just give us a little bit of that background. I mean, you competed at the highest level. That must have been quite an achievement. How do you feel about that?
It was extraordinary. It was absolutely extraordinary, and such an honour to be there and representing my country.
Yeah.
I came into the sport very late. I started when I was 42, I think.
What is it that got you started with archery? Why archery? At 42?
You know, JP, I never thought about it. I came from a very adrenaline sort of based sports, hockey, squash. You know, right from the age of 5. Yes, no. I was either sailing, riding horses, whatever. And then there was, after several injuries, sporting injuries, and pushing it to the max, my body sort of went no, and so I took a bit of a break. But I kept driving backwards and forwards past the Protea Sports Club. And retreat, and I thought, being very curious, I saw people shooting these arrows, and sat there in the back. Well, I should try it. Anyway, one Saturday I was very grumpy, and my partner said, "Why don't you just go out and do that archery thing that you keep talking about?" Well, they certainly regretted that because that was it.
And that was the start.
Yeah.
You went there and you just knock on the door and say, "Guys, listen, you want to
I went to one of, and then Protea has a very nice give it a go thing on every Saturday. So I tried it out, and that was it for me. Yeah.
So from there, what was the progression? You obviously tried it out for a little bit. Was it an easy progress? I mean, nobody goes to the Olympics. No one competes at the world level without having to put in serious training.
No, indeed. I've always been highly competitive, so my thing is if I'm going to take something on, I must see how it's done properly. Yeah. So I did the research, and I got some help from one of the more senior archers in the Cape. He's also an Olympian, Malcolm Todd. He's out in Belleville, and I trained under him. And
so you had proper coaching?
Yes, I got a bit of coaching, yes, yeah. And then obviously started competing and doing well, and caught the eye of the national squad leaders. And they started giving me a bit of guidance.
So just on that, for you, what was the highlight? What would you say was the best competition? I mean, everyone says that must be the Olympics.
It has to be the Olympics. However, that was extraordinary. It was just extraordinary. Yeah. Every single moment. I mean, I shot some clangers in front of the entire world. And I shot some brilliant shots, but every single moment of that was extraordinary.
But the entire trip is not just about the competition on the day. It's about
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And also the interactions with everybody else and yeah. However, in the world of archery, the Koreans have been sort of at the top for
a couple hundred years.
They're not quite. But my first big international world champs was in Korea, Ulsan, where they are. I mean, that was quite extraordinary. They'd cut for the tournament. They cut a whole chunk out of the mountain just for that world champs.
Yeah.
4 years.
What is it that makes them so special? Why are they so good at it? Is it just full dedication?
It's an ethos. It's about, look, they have archery like we have rugby at school. Yeah. But also, I think with archery, it's, that whole, you've got to be careful of the outcome-based thing. So you've got to actually be calm and not think about not try and get the score, and the score will happen. They have a much more patient attitude towards things.
Do you think that is one of the reasons why people go and do archery? I mean, I know archery is not the biggest, most volume-orientated sport in South Africa. Not a lot of clubs around. You don't have thousands and thousands of athletes.
Yeah, it's not a mass participation.
But why do people go knock on an archery door and go and do it? I mean, you were driving past Routine and you decided to do it.
Yes.
But there is a sort of a Zen component around it. Do people go and start archery because they're interested in this calming
I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't necessarily. I think that was a positive spin-off for me. And I think that probably being the creature that I am, I wouldn't have been very good at it. I would have been too impatient at 20. But at 40, the spin-off of the calming, relaxed, actually learn some patience and skill and meditation, basically. So I did initially. I thought this was like a nice, sexy Skopskiet and Donner game, you know. And I think lots of people are drawn in like that.
Well, it's a weapon. I mean, it's the crazy thing.
Well,
you're doing
like
this very calm thing with a deadly weapon.
True story. But I mean, you know, the stats are a bit like the shark stats, you know. You're more likely to get killed by a chair or a coconut than an archery.
I just find it rather ironic that, you know, one is standing there in a dead calm meditation, contemplating world peace with the intention to kill something.
Well, yeah, there are some people I've
and the bow is a hunting tool.
True story.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about archery in the Western Cape. You're the chairperson of archery in the Western Cape. We're obviously in good hands to have you, because you know we it's great to have athletes that have competed at the higher level and then come back into the world of sports administration.
Yeah, it's nice to pay back as well, you know.
Yeah. Which means that you've got a lot of experience across the board, and that the leadership is able to tap into this knowledge of where it's going to go. I mean, certainly if we have athletes that are going to be successful in the Western Cape, they can lean on your experience and they can ask you, you know, what can I expect at the World Champs? What can I expect at the Olympics? Or how do I get to the Olympics? How are we doing from a membership perspective in the Western Cape?
We're struggling a little bit. I think all the fringe sports are, and I mean, the world we live in now is a time factor, and archery takes a lot of time if you're going to excel. And if you do want to take the sport seriously, it is very time consuming. I mean, we talk about the Koreans that are top, and they are now the Chinese and the pulling in, but they are spending 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, 6 years to get there.
But I mean, if we're just telling people out there, I mean, look at archery. It's a fantastic sport. You know, it's got a lot of things that moms and dads might want to take their kids to.
Yes.
It's a controlled environment. It's an open space. It certainly teaches you a lot about self-composure and self-discipline and focus. There's a lot of positives here. So I mean, there's an ability to promote archery.
No, absolutely. Look, I mean, especially with the children. I mean, I've been doing some work with at Westerford. I started a schools program there, and it's and also coaching at Protea and other clubs that we've been doing. It's quite extraordinary watching the children that struggle at school. It's quite extraordinary. Sorry, I keep saying that. Seeing their development as an individual, their self-confidence, because it's not that rugger bugger game. So it's, yes, we get the guys that so
there's a bit of conversion here from the sport field to the classroom.
Absolutely. I mean, I had a student 8 years ago who struggled with attention at school, and that his focus. His mom said that within 6 months of starting archery, his marks just went up like that. The concentration skills.
Tell me a little bit about the time factors. Like, how often does one train? The kids, if it was kids, how many times a week, and how long would a training session be, or a class session be?
It's up to the individual and what they want out of the sport, because you could just come once a week on a Saturday, hire a bow under accredited coaches, and plonk arrows and have fun, you know.
So is it the type of environment that mom or dad can drop their kids off?
Absolutely.
And go shopping and come back 2 hours later?
Although we don't want to be a babysitting facility, but yes, that's absolutely no problem. Yeah. And they can have some fun. I admire people who just come and shoot arrows once a week. I wish I was like that, but I'm far too competitive. And if you want to be competitive, then obviously you have to start shooting at least 3 times a week. If you want to be, you know, on the national squad, then it's initially the layout is expensive.
But you just mentioned you can hire a bow.
You can hire a bow.
If you just want to have shoot a few arrows.
And it's not like bullets. You know, you can actually use your arrows again.
Of course, the arrow is retrievable. You don't have to. You can reuse it. It's recyclable.
It's also like a car. You know, you can a city golf will get you from A to B as well. You know, I can take a baby bow and probably shoot just as well as somebody with.
So if I want to start archery in Cape Town, Western Cape, where do I find a club?
There's JP. There's several clubs in the Western Cape. In fact, 22. But in Cape Town, there's
22 archery clubs in Cape Town.
Not in Cape Town, in the Western Cape,
Right,
and they're growing. Those are the official ones that are in good standing with us.
Isn't this the type of sport that could also be done at a school? That maybe more schools?
Yes, and we have a national, what they call NASP, is one of the systems who go into schools and do that. That's slightly different to my school's program. But that gets a whole lot of people involved on that level.
So if there are schools out there who want to maybe have archery at their school, they can come and speak to you about getting archery up and running.
Absolutely. I mean, they can look up me up either under the Protea Sports Club or the Western Cape Archery website.
So that's the place to get a hold of you, the Protea Archery, or on the website. But you're based at the Protea Archery Club in Retreat.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Karen. We're going to leave it at that. That was. I think it's been fantastic chatting with you. I think we could probably have spoken another half hour, another 2 hours about your experiences. And thanks for joining us on Sport Federation TV.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thanks, JP.
Yeah. There you go, folks. Well, there you just heard it. Archery in the Western Cape. We need you to go and join. Fantastic sport. Well, and I think certainly one of those things that is advantageous to the to any athlete that does it, with a bit of conversion. If you're looking for some self-discipline, composure, focus, then archery is exactly what it is that you need to do. So go look for Karen. She's at the Retreat Archery Club, Protea Archery Club in Retreat, or find her on the Western Cape Archery website. When we come back after the break, we'll be speaking to the guys from football.